Today is very auspicious day, disappearance day of our previous Guru, Navadvip Parikrama. We heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself told to Nityananda Prabhu and other associates in Remuna, in Kirchor Gopinath, about the glories of Navadvip Puri, which he heard from his Gurudev, Ishwar Puri, who is a disciple of Navadvip Puri. So, Navadvip Puri accepted Madhva's line, but he developed this Braja Prem. In our Gauriya line, he is the first one to exhibit this love and separation as Brajavasis Radharani did. So then it is also mentioned that he had many disciples into whom he infused this, like Ishwar Puri, Ranga Puri, Paramananda Puri, Brahmananda Puri. Along with his disciples, he was relishing this, and he came to Govardhan and was doing bhajan in Govindakund. In short, I'm telling, then one small boy came and told him, Baba, why you are not eating? I came to bring you milk. In my village, no one fasts. Either one will beg and he will get, or I will bring. So I heard from these ladies you did not take anything, so I brought milk for you, please take. And after, now I have to go to milk the cows. Then I will come back to fetch the pot. Navadvip Puri is very attracted to this small boy, very beautiful, and he got that transcendental bliss seeing him. Then when boy went away, he disappeared suddenly. Then Navadvip Puri was astonished, and he was waiting when he will come back. But he didn't come. Then Navadvip Puri was little sleeping. Then in dream, Krishna came and told him, I came. I am very happy you came. I was waiting for you. I am in the form of deity installed by Bajaranap in that forest. I was put there because Pujari was afraid of Muslims, so he put me there. And since long time I am there, and I'm feeling cold and nothing to eat, to drink. So I was waiting for you, when you will come to serve me. So now you recover me and install me in Govardhan together with Brajavasis. So then Navadvip Puri woke up and he was astonished and also regretting how I could not recognize my Supreme Lord Krishna. Because by Yoga Maya, if Krishna does not want, it is not possible. So then they found the deity, they put him on top. So here Gurudev told so much time he was there. And so many people, devotees, all they were passing that and doing Navadvip Parikrama. But at that time, deity did not feel any hunger and like this. But when devotee comes of such status like Navadvip Puri, then he feels all these things to give opportunity of service to him. And Navadvip Puri was such stage that he was on transcendental platform fully. So he conquered eating and drinking. He did not feel hunger and thirst in this. Because all the time he was relishing Krishna Prem, transcendental. He was surviving on that. But just to keep the body and soul together, he had this way of maintaining that he will not beg. But if someone will give something voluntarily, then he will accept that. So he could do this, sometimes fasting, sometimes getting, well, this. So that is that high stage. Not all can do like that. Then he installed Gopal on top of Govardhan hill and he did Abhishek and offered so many bhoga and arati and put to rest and everything. And then Annakuta festival was going on every day. Then for 2 years he was doing this seva, but he never took that prasad. He only took milk. Because he's not eager to enjoy this prasad. And he saw with his divine eyes how Krishna actually did it, actually ate everything. And then by his own will, again he filled the pots. Only he could see this with his divine eyes. How prasad appeared. Krishna actually really ate everything. But then again he put the prasad in all the pots. So then after 2 years, Gopal again said, Giridhari Gopal, I'm still not feeling fully cooled. So you have to bring me sandalwood from Malaya. From Malaya mountain to cool me down. So Gurudev explained, Madhavendra Puri was at that time very old, more than 80. At that time there were no trains, flights, cars, all this. And he had to bring from Puri because that Malaya mountain is in South India, west, but they are bringing that sandalwood to Puri for Jagannath. So he, because that is the best quality, sandalwood from Malaya. So, but he was very happy to get this seva because devotee, he always wants to serve. Gurudev said, if you tell to any young now devotee some seva, he will be reluctant. What to speak of being old like this and had to walk so long. But Madhavendra Puri, because he's a pure devotee, he went walking. He engaged two Brahmins there to serve Gopal and he went walking. And he came to Shantipur. He initiated Advaita Acharya there. We heard Advaita Acharya saw all ecstatical symptoms in Madhavendra Puri and he understood he's my guru. He's a bona fide guru. He took initiation from him. And then he came to Remuna, Gopinath Diti, and he was dancing and chanting. And he was wondering what they offer here to Gopinath, and he asked Pujari. Pujari said, Amrit Keli Kir, and it is the best. You will not find like this anywhere in the world. It's the best that we offer. Then Madhavendra Puri heard and he thought, if I could get a taste of that kir, then I could also serve my Gopal with that. He was not thinking to enjoy, but for the sake of service he was thinking. But anyway, he felt ashamed why I desire to eat. Because devotee is always humble and always thinks I am committing some fault, some mistake, although he's not. Like Ambarish Maharaj, he did not make any mistake, but out of humbleness thinking, I did wrong. So here also Madhavendra Puri, there was no mistake, because his target was for the service, but he failed. So then he left that temple, but Gopinath stole that one pot of kheer. He put behind his dhoti. Then in the night, midnight, he came in dream of that pujari and said, wake up and you open my temple and you take, there is one pot of kheer I kept. You don't know because you were bewildered by my Jogamaya. You could not see. But behind my dhoti, there is one pot of kheer for Madhavendra Puri. So you bring it to him. He's in the market. Then how Gopinath can speak? He can do everything. So then Pujari woke up and he was not fully still sure, but he took bath, opened temple, and then when he saw the kheer is there, then it was fully, then he was astonished. Then he went to market and searched for Madhavendra Puri, and then he gave him that kheer and he said, "You are the most fortunate. Such a great devotee. For you, Supreme Lord Gopinath, he stole kheer for you. You are such," he was praising him. Then Madhavendra Puri took that kheer. His prasad, Krishna is sending to serve him, he took and he got prem. And then he also broke that pot, earthen pot, into many small pieces, and daily he used to take one, that earthen pot, and got prem by taking that, remembering about Gopinath. And what is used in the service of Gopinath, that is transcendental, like prasad, everything. So then Madhavendra Puri, he was doing Harinam there in the midnight, not sleeping. Pujari was sleeping, but he was doing Harinam. It was different stage. So then Madhavendra Puri thought, now everyone will think I'm a great devotee and they will come and they will praise me and there will be crowd like this. So he wanted to avoid that because he's not interested in any name and fame. His desire is only to serve Krishna, nothing any worldly. So he thought this will be disturbing to my bhajan, so better I should leave now, immediately. So he left. And he came to Puri in the morning, and when he came, already news was already there that Madhavendra Puri, that great devotee for whom Gopinath stole kheer, came. And there it is explained that devotee, real devotee, he does not desire any name and fame, but name and fame will automatically follow him like shadow. He cannot avoid it. But you should not desire it. Devotee does not desire because he has higher taste, higher desire. Devotion to Krishna. He only wants to serve Krishna and he's happy in that. Far more than getting any worldly name and fame. So but there he could not avoid because means he did not want to avoid because he had to get that sandalwood paste there. So he met devotees and king then gave him and one Brahmin also, or two Brahmin to carry. So he carried that Malaya Chandan, and when he again came to Kirchor Gopinath, now he got this name, Kirchora, the thief of Kir. Before it was Gopinath, he was Gopinath. Now he is the Kir thief, Gopinath. So then when he was taking rest, again that Giridhari Gopal from Govardhan appeared in his dream and said, I already got sandalwood, and so you need not carry that to here. And also I and Gopinath, we are one and the same person. So you offer all that sandalwood to Gopinath. If you put on him, I will feel coolness. So then Madhavendra Puri told to pujaris, and they were very happy. They grinded and they were offering to Gopinath daily that sandalwood paste till it was finished. And there it is explained that Giridhari Gopal was testing Madhavendra Puri, or showing to us, to the world, what kind of devotion Madhavendra Puri has. He was personally going from Govardhan in old age. We don't want to do service, we want to engage someone else. But he personally went. So to show his devotion, it was made, and Madhavendra Puri is very glad to get seva. And then when it was shown, then he released him from this, that he has to go back. And then before his disappearance, he was always feeling separation grief from Krishna, as Radharani feeling from Krishna when he went to Mathura. And he was all doing the pastime of old age, sickness and all this. So Ishwar Puri used to serve him fully by cleaning stool, urine, and also he was chanting loudly Harinam for Madhavendra Puri to hear, and Krishna Lila he was reading and speaking. He was serving fully. Ramchandra Puri could not understand about Madhavendra Puri's ecstatic feeling. So he thought, why is Gurudev crying? As like some conditioned soul, he will lose something, then he will cry, oh, I lost it. But one who realized that he is Brahman, spirit, then he does not lament for anything and he does not desire anything. Why he is crying, oh Krishna, oh like this, I did not attain you. So then he said to Madhavendra Puri, why you are crying? You should think you are Brahma, you are Brahman, then there is no problem, no crying, no desire, all this. But Madhavendra Puri became very angry. He saw he does not understand. Because if we don't surrender to Guru, then we cannot understand. We cannot understand Shastra, what Guru says, nothing we can understand with this intellect. Only through surrender that will descend to us. Then you can understand. So then he chastised him and said, I am dying here out of separation from Krishna, and this sinful rascal is teaching me about Brahman. You go away, I don't want to see you. If I will see you when I'm dying, I don't know where I will go. So he rejected him. We heard that. Then Madhavendra Puri, he was deeply absorbed in separation from Krishna. Then he left this world. His samadhi is there in Kirchor, Gopinath. I saw photo only of that samadhi. So I am bowing down to him and praying his causeless mercy. And yes, he was so happy with Ishwar Puri because Ishwar Puri really surrendered and did all seva, Guru seva. So Madhavendra Puri blessed him. May you have Krishna Prem. Then he got Ishwar Puri. He was ocean of Krishna Prema, but Ramachandra Puri was deprived. And he developed these material desires and was always criticizing fault finding like this. We heard in Chaitanya Charitamrita, just opposite. Madhavendra Puri is a real bona fide guru. If we submit, then we will get Krishna Prema and we will see good qualities in others and we will see the grace of Krishna in all circumstances. We will have that proper vision and always undisturbed. This vision you can get by the grace of Guru. But if you don't receive the mercy of Guru because you don't surrender, then you will have wrong vision and you will always be disturbed. So we have to try to surrender to bona fide Guru. We are praying His grace daily in that Guru Parampara song. His glories are unlimited. Madhavendra Puri. And we are performing Navadvip Parikrama under the guidance of Nityananda Prabhu. Yesterday we heard about that Brahmin who was worshipping Barahadev in Satyuga. And he got darshan. And Barahadev said, yes, after some time I will appear. I think it was in Satyuga. 1 second. Yes. In Satyuga he was worshipping Barahadev and praying to him to have his darshan. I don't want anything. I only want you. Gurudev said, when you will have such bhav, mood in your heart, I don't want any, I only want you, Krishna, then you will get his darshan. Not before that, if other desires are there. So then Baraha came and told him, I will come in future here as Gaurango. You will also be born. And he then saw, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, in all scriptures. Before it was hidden for him, but now he could detect when Mahaprabhu will appear, and he took birth in Kali Yuga. O son of Vallabha, here the sequence of the 12 forests of Vrindavan is not the same. Son of Vallabha means Jiva Goswami. It is only according to the wish of Sriman Mahaprabhu that the sequence here is not the same. Only the Lord himself, who does as he pleases, knows the reason for this. One should have darshan of these places according to the way they are situated here, because this inversion increases prema in a way that is unprecedented. Because Nityananda Prabhu told him, this Kuladvip is Govardhan and Bahulavan is north side of Govardhan, that Radhakunda is there. So he told him that these 12 forests of Vrindavan are here, but here they are in different order to increase prema. Having gone on a little further, Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, behold this place known as Samudra Gara. O most learned one, just see, the two holy places, Dwarakapuri and Ganga Sagar, are both directly present here. Once a king named Sri Samudra Sen reigned here. He was a great devotee of Sri Krishna. Apart from Lord Krishna, he did not know anything else. At the time of the Pandavas' world conquest, Bhima Sen came here and besieged Samudra Gara with the might of his army. At that time, King Samudra Sen thought, Shri Krishna is the only master and the exclusive shelter of the Pandavas. If ever they get into danger, Shri Krishna, the Lord of the Yadus, will immediately hasten to save them. If I could somehow make Bhima fearful, he would call out in distress to Shri Krishna. Hearing this cry, Shri Hari will certainly bestow mercy upon him. Shri Krishna will then mercifully descend to Samudragara, the place of his servant, and I will easily be able to see his darkish blue form. Thinking like this, the king fully equipped his army and with elephants, horses and foot soldiers set out for battle. See, he was fighting, but with what motive? The means is justified by the end. Outwardly looks like violence, but we have to see his motive, and by that he will get the fruit. By the fruit you can know the tree. The king remembered Shri Krishna and began to shoot his arrows. Afflicted by them, Bhima became much afraid. Seeing the impending catastrophe within his mind, Bhima called out to Shri Krishna. O Shri Krishna, O my Lord, please protect this servant of yours by giving him shelter at your lotus feet. I am not able to endure this fight with Samudrasen. If I am defeated, it will be a matter of great shame, and I will not be able to tolerate that humiliation. O Lord of the Pandavas, Shri Krishna, O merciful one, it is very shameful to be defeated. An astonishing incident then took place. Although the merciful Shri Krishna appeared immediately on the battlefield, upon hearing Bhima's pitiful call, no one except Shri Samudrasen could see him, king. Shri Samudrasen saw the youthful Shri Krishna, whose bodily luster resembled that of a fresh rain cloud. The garland of forest flowers around Shri Krishna's neck shone like a pearl. His entire body was beautifully decorated with ornaments. He was dressed in yellow garments, and his bodily form was incomparably beautiful. When the king saw Shri Krishna's beauty, he fell, swooning with prema. When he regained his consciousness, he prayed, O Shri Krishna, you are the Lord of the universe, the savior of the fallen. Seeing my fallen condition, you have come to this place. The people of the entire world sing of your pastimes. Having heard your glories from them, I also developed a desire to see you. O merciful one, I did not want to leave Sri Navadvip to go elsewhere, but I also had a strong desire to see your captivating form. Therefore, I vowed that I would get your darshan when you appear here in Sri Navadvip. O merciful one, although to fulfill my vow you have now appeared before me in Sri Navadvip as Sri Krishna, I have yet another hidden desire. Please appear before me as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Just then the king saw before him the unparalleled sweetness of Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes. He saw that while grazing the cows, Sri Krishna had come to Sri Kumudvan in the afternoon, where he then performed pastimes with the Sakis. After a while, the king's vision of that pastime disappeared, and he now saw Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu absorbed in Sankirtan with his associates. They were dancing and chanting, filled with ecstatic emotions. His radiant golden body enchanted the mind and maddened the eyes, and it caused an upheaval in the heart. After seeing Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's beauty, the king considered himself very fortunate. He offered many kinds of glorification at the Lord's lotus feet. After a few moments, this pastime disappeared, and feeling unhappy, the king began to weep. Because Sri Bhimsen was unable to see all these pastimes, he thought that maybe the king was afraid to fight. Thinking in this way, Bhima, the son of Pandu, exhibited increased strength. King Samudra Sen, however, now satisfied, and just prayed to Bhima Sen to accept his tribute. Means he surrendered. Okay, yes. Because already now his desire was fulfilled. His desire was not to conquer, to have more land or more money or more fame. That was not his desire. His desire was to get darshan of Krishna because he was a devotee. Devotee has no any other desire except service of Krishna. So now when Krishna knows his heart, that is why he got darshan. Outwardly we cannot understand devotee, what he's doing. So here we may see is a very greedy person, a violent person. Yesterday also I told that love and rapture. In love and rapture we should have same purpose. That is one meaning. Another is also I heard from Srila Sridhar Maharaj today. That is actually correct one. That Prabhupada explained to Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj that in love or rapture they are all the same. When target is the satisfaction of Krishna. Outwardly it may seem they are quarreling, but it is for the satisfaction of Krishna. In the Leela of Krishna, everything is included and everything is for the satisfaction of Krishna. Outwardly it may seem like fighting, but the target is satisfaction of Krishna. So we should understand that love and rapture are having same meaning, same purpose in devotional line. In devotional line they are having same. Like sometimes gopis they will quarrel with one another, but the satisfaction of Krishna is important. So Sridhar Maharaj said we should not run away seeing quarrel. Gurudev also told, if you go to Barshana, then their cowherd boys and gopis, they will quarrel so much for that taxation. So Gurudev explained that pastime. Then he, in that mood, he said, so it is better not to go to Vrindavan. There is so much fighting there. To make us understand that that is not like this we experience in this world fighting. This is bitter and for selfish interest and violent, all this. But there outwardly looks like fighting, but it is of different type. So one should not, by seeing external appearance, should not run away. So like that, Prabhupada wanted to explain to Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj, who was keeping some distance from the mission. But Prabhupada explained to him, don't avoid. Everything done for the service of Krishna is okay. So love and rapture, they are having same meaning when target is the satisfaction of Krishna. So you should not run away from that. So here we see he submitted. That is very undesirable for any king, to accept defeat and to pay tax to another. But here, this is no problem, because his target is service of Krishna, not these worldly things. So yes, I am defeated, you accept tax. After accepting the tribute, Sri Bhimasen left for other places. The entire world says that Sri Bhimasen emerged victorious and thus sings his glories. But here this Samudra Sen is got much superior than any worldly thing. Fame and property, that is far superior. Madhavendra Puri showed this, he knows. That is why he wanted to avoid that. Because he has no desire. His only desire is the service of Krishna. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, this divine pastime took place right here at Samudra Gara, which is situated on the southern border of Sri Navadvip. Even Lord Brahma does not know the glory of this place. The ocean comes here to take shelter of Sri Jannavi and worships the lotus feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu in the mood of a devotee. Samudra means ocean. One day, Jannavi told the ocean, O ocean, very soon my Lord will stay on your shore at Jagannath Puri. The ocean replied, please listen to me, O Devi. The son of Mother Sachi never leaves Sri Navadvip Dham. Although he will stay for a while on my shore, in his real form he will remain in Navadvip. Like Krishna is always in Vrindavan. Then expansion goes out. Here also, Mahaprabhu as a householder Nimai, always in Navadvip. Sri Navadvip is the eternal abode of Sriman Mahaprabhu. The Vedas glorify both the manifest and unmanifest pastimes of this place. O beautiful one, I will stay here under your shelter and serve Sri Gaurahari in Sri Navadvip. Speaking thus, the ocean began to reside in Sri Navadvip. He meditated upon the eternal pastimes of Sri Gaurahari day and night. From Samudragara, Sri Nityananda Prabhu proceeded to Champakahata and took rest in Dvijo Baninatha's house. In the afternoon, while touring Champakahata, Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, listen, O son of Vallabha, previously there was a grove of Champaka flowers here. This place is a part of Khadiravan of Braja and appears most beautiful. Champakalata Saki daily used to pick champaka flowers here and string them into garlands. She used the garlands in the service of Sri Radha Krishna. As the age of Kali progressed, gardeners came to this champaka forest and collected flowers to their full satisfaction. They set up a market, hata, here and began to sell champaka flowers, and the people living in nearby villages began buying flowers from them. Since then, this place has been known as Sri Champakahata. Hata means market. The common name of this charming place is Champahati. Now everyone says Champahati. When Sri Lakshman Sen was the king of Nadia, Sri Jayadev, the crest jewel of poets, resided in Navadvip as his subject. Sri Jayadev, whose mind was fixed and peaceful, built a cottage on the bank of Balal Dirgika and lived there with his wife Padma. While living there, he composed the hymn named Dash Avatar. At some point, that hymn came in the hands of King Lakshman Sen. The king recited the hymn here with great pleasure, and after the recitation he inquired from his ministers about who had written this hymn. Govardhanacharya, who was present in the assembly, replied, "The great poet Jayadev is the author." The king asked where the poet Jayadev lived. Govardhan replied that he lived right here in Navadvip. Hearing this, the king secretly found out where Sri Jayadev lived. At night, the king disguised himself as a Vaishnava and came to Sri Jayadev's cottage. He paid his respects and sat down to one side. Jayadev understood that the king had come dressed as a poor Vaishnava. Jayadev knows everything. He also recognized those robbers when they came. They were also dressed as Vaishnavas to that king. Here also he understood, because a real devotee can understand who is who, not by external appearance, but by seeing actual truth. That is why we cannot hide anything from Gurudev. After a short time, the king revealed his identity. He begged Jayadev to come to his palace. But the highly intelligent Jayadev was completely without material attachments and therefore did not agree to the house of a materialist. Sri Jayadev, a one-pointed devotee of Sri Krishna, said, "If you persist like this, I will leave your kingdom and go elsewhere." Devotees, they always want simple living, high thinking. Association with materialists never brings any auspiciousness. I will cross the Ganga and go to Nilachal. The king said, "O Prabhu, please hear my words. Please be merciful and do not leave Sri Navadvip. O Lord, please have mercy upon me. Kindly make some arrangement by which your words come true and my desire will be fulfilled." Across the Ganga, there is an enchanting place called Champakahata. Please stay there at least for 1 or 2 years. I will not come there of my own accord. Only if you wish me to come, will I go there and take darshan of your lotus feet. After hearing the words of the king, the great poet Jayadev agreed and immediately said, "Although you are a materialist and this kingdom is yours, you are a devotee of Krishna and you are not bound by the shackles of the material world." You see, this is already the third king there in Navadvip. Yesterday we heard that Subarna Vihar king became devotee. Then this Samudra and this also. I called you a materialist only to test you, and you tolerated my words even though you are a king. It means Trinada Pisu Nichanatarora Pisu. He does not want any worldly ego. I have therefore understood that you are a pure devotee of Krishna. Although you are surrounded by worldly enjoyment or worldly sense objects, you are fully detached. Bishoy means objects of the senses. I will live in Champakahata for some time. You can come secretly to see me, leaving behind your royal opulence. This is the test. If someone has this desire for name and fame, he is not a devotee of Krishna. He has some other desire. So he cannot tolerate disrespect. But if someone is a real devotee, he can tolerate all these things because he's a man in a Manadina. And Madhavendra Puri, he wants to run away from getting respect. And this Samudra Sen, he has no problem, although he's a king, that is worse than that for a king, to submit to another king. Better to die in battle, but you cannot submit. Kshatriya cannot submit. But he submitted easily. Why? Because he has no this desire. He got his desire fulfilled, he got the service of Krishna. So this is the test. The joyful king ordered his ministers to have a suitable house constructed for Sri Jayadev in Champakahata, Bhajan Kutir. They want only simple living and high thinking, chanting, worshipping, hearing about Krishna, this thing they want. Not very comfortable furniture and very big bathroom with golden taps and they don't need this. The poet Sri Jayadev stayed in that place for some time and performed Krishna bhajan according to the process of spontaneous devotion to Sri Krishna Raga Marg. Sri Padmavati Devi would pick and bring many champaka flowers, which Sri Jayadev would use to worship Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Sri Jayadev's worship was full of prema. One day he noticed that Sri Krishna's complexion resembled that of a champaka flower. His beautiful complexion of molten gold was very charming, and his extremely beautiful lotus face even put to shame the beauty of millions upon millions of moons. His hair was curly and a flower garland decorated his neck. His arms were long and the splendor of his form illuminated Sri Jayadev's leaf-thatched hut. Leaf-thatched. Natural, very nice, natural. No, these bricks and iron and electricity and all. No, all natural. Mud and that straw. That is very good. Leaf thatched and leaves of banana. I don't know which leaves they are using, some strong leaves. That is very natural, good, sattvic, suitable for bhajan. Seeing the form of Sri Gauranga, that best of great poets swooned, overwhelmed with prema, and tears began to flow from his eyes. Sri Padmavati Devi also lost consciousness on beholding that form of the Lord and fell to the ground. Shriman Mahaprabhu lifted both of them up with his lotus hands and mercifully spoke the following sweet words. You are both my devotees and of noble nature. Therefore, I desire to give you my darshan. Very soon I will take birth here in Nadia from the womb of Mother Sachi. Along with the devotees from all of my avatars, I will distribute the treasure of prema through the medium of Sri Krishna Sankirtan. At the age of 24, I will accept the renounced order of life, and then, without doubt, I will reside in Nilachal. In Jagannath Puri, during the final stage of my manifest pastimes, I will, absorbed in prema, relish Sri Gita Govinda in the company of the devotees. O Jayadev, I am briefly revealing my heart to you when I say that I deeply cherish your composition, Sri Gita Govinda. This Sri Navadvip Dham is supremely transcendental. After giving up these present bodies, you will definitely take birth here. Now both of you should go to Nilachal and serve Lord Jagannath. By this you will certainly attain the fruit of prema. Saying this, Sri Gaurachandra disappeared, and both of them fainted in separation from him. So here we see, yesterday we heard that from Garuda Puran, if wife does not have male child, and then you have to abandon. But here we don't hear this. They never had any child. Padmavati and Jayadev. They were married but never had any child. Mahaprabhu did not say, Jayadev, after 10 years you have to abandon her. No, because that is not for devotees. That is for that Varna ashram and that thing. So here he told them, you both, you are very dear to me, you worship me there in Jagannath Puri. Then you will come to me here. When they came back to consciousness, they lamented, afflicted by separation from Sriman Mahaprabhu. Alas, alas, how can we remain alive without again beholding that form we once saw with our eyes? Why did Sriman Mahaprabhu order us to leave Nadia? It seems like we have committed an offense to this dham. Sri Navadvip Dham is supremely transcendental. If our minds become so disturbed just at the thought of leaving this place, what will become of us when we actually leave? It would be better to become a bird or an animal in Sri Navadvip and reside here eternally, absorbed in thoughts on the Dham. We can give up our lives, but we cannot give up the Dham. This is our firm conviction. O Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, please be merciful to us and give us a place here at your lotus feet. Lamenting in this way, they both began to cry loudly. Just then they heard an aerial voice. Do not be unhappy. Go to Nilachal. By going there, you will achieve two things. So do not become restless. Some time ago, both of you were thinking of residing in Nilachal for some time. Sri Jagannath, the best friend of the inhabitants of the world, has fulfilled your desire, and he also wants to see you. After pleasing Sri Jagannath, you both will give up your bodies, and in your next birth, you will again come to reside here in Navadvip. After hearing the aerial voice, they at once departed on their journey for Sri Jagannath Puri, looking back again and again to behold Sri Navadvip. Their eyes overflowed with tears, and upon seeing the residence of Sri Navadvip, they humbly said, all of you please be merciful to us and forgive the offenses we have committed. They did not, but devotees always out of humbleness, they feel like this. They are praying for the grace. They traveled very far, constantly looking back at the Sri Navadvip Dham. Which is like an 8-petaled lotus flower. They continued on until they could see Sri Navadvip no more, weeping as they crossed the land of Gaura. After some days, they arrived in Nilachal, where with hearts full of joy, they had darshan of Bhagavan Sri Jagannath. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, according to the elders of this place, this highland is indeed Sri Jayadeva's place. Upon seeing the place of Sri Jayadev, Jiva, out of prema, rolled in the dust and wept. Shri Jiva said, blessed is Shri Jayadip Kavi. Blessed is Shri Padmavati Devi. Blessed is Shri Gita Govinda. And blessed is divine attachment to Shri Krishna. Now that Champahati temple is still there. Now it belongs to Gauriya Mat. It was given to Prabhupada by the Navadvip Basis. Their Gaur Gadadhar Ditis are there of Baninath, Dvija Baninath. O Lord Shri Jayadev, attained the ocean of divine love. Please be merciful to me and let me taste just one drop of that ocean. Saying this, Shri Jiva began to roll in the dust at Shri Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. That night, they all stayed at Shri Baninatha's house. Together with all his family members, Shri Baninath served Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Desiring to attain the cooling shade of Shri Nityananda Prabhu and Shri Jannaba Devi's lotus feet, this destitute and lowly Bhakti Vinod sings the glories of Nadia. All glories to Shri Chaitanya Chandra, all glories to Shri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Shri Advaita Acharya and Shri Gadadhar Pandit, all glories to Shri Vas and the other devotees, all glories to the house of Shri Jagannath Mishra, all glories to the topmost of holy abode, Shri Navadvip. All the devotees got up early in the morning, lovingly calling out the names of Shri Gaur Nitai. Together with Shri Nityananda Prabhu, they proceeded onwards from Champakahata, blissfully performing kirtan. As they left Champakahata, Shri Baninath also accompanied Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Baninath thought, when in my life will that day ever come that I blissfully go on Parikrama with Shri Nitai Chand to the house of Shriman Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. Very soon they arrived in Ratupur. Seeing the beauty of that village, Shri Nityananda Prabhu said, now we have arrived in the supremely attractive Ritudvip. Here all the trees stand with their heads bowed down. The breeze blows gently and flowers blossom in all directions. The humming of bees and the exquisite fragrance of flowers intoxicate the mind of travelers coming and going on the path. As he spoke, Shri Nityananda Prabhu became completely absorbed in ecstatic emotions and began to speak like a madman. Quickly bring my shinga, an instrument made out of a horn. The calves are going far away. Kanai is still sleeping at home. Childlike Krishna has still not come. Subal, where are you? Shridam, where are you? I cannot go alone to graze the cows. Loudly shouting Kanai, Kanai, the extremely powerful Shri Nityananda Prabhu began to leap high into the air. Seeing his ecstatic emotions, the devotees immediately made a request at his lotus feet. O Nityananda Prabhu, your brother Shri Gaurachandra is not here right now. That Shri Gaurahari has now taken sannyas and gone to Nilachal, leaving us here like beggars. Hearing this, Shri Nityananda Prabhu became sad and began to weep and roll on the ground. Shri Nityananda Prabhu said, For what unfortunate purpose has my brother Kanai left us all, taken sannyas and gone to Nilachal? Without him, I will not remain alive. I will jump in the Jamuna. Saying this, he fell to the ground unconscious. Sensing Shri Nityananda Prabhu's powerful ecstatic emotions, everyone started Harinam Sankirtan. When Shri Nityananda Prabhu did not arise, even after about 4 dandas, means 1 hour and 36 minutes, all the devotees began to sing the name of Shri Gaura. Hearing the name of Shri Gaura Hari, Shri Nityananda Prabhu got up and said, "This is Shri Radha Kunda." Shri Gaura Hari used to perform kirtan here in the afternoon with his devotees. Behold the beauty of Shyamakunda, which attracts the minds of people throughout the universe. At the many nearby places are the groves of the Sakis. Shri Gaura Hari used to come here at midday. Absorbed in chanting the holy names, he would make everyone joyful by distributing prema to them. O brother, there is no place like this in the 3 worlds. Here devotees worship the Supreme Lord. A person who resides here attains the treasure of prema and his heart is thus soothed. That day all the devotees stayed in that place, continuously chanting Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's name and becoming drowned in prema. They spent the entire day and night in Ritudip worshipping Shri Chaitanya Chandra. So, as we have in Radha Krishna Lila, midday pastime is in Radha Kunda. So here also in Ritudvip, Mahaprabhu came here at midday to do pastime. This is one. Another is our Ishwadhyan also. Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw in Navadvip Taranga that Ishwadhyan, although generally it is translated as the garden of the Lord, Isha Udyan, like Isha, Ishopanishad, Isha. Isha means with short A, Isha is God. And Udyan means garden, together Ishwadhyan. But actual, it is Isha. Isha means goddess, means Radharani. And if you combine Isha and Udyan, it also comes Ishodhyan. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by his divine vision, he saw that Mahaprabhu doing midday pastimes there in Ishodhyan, and that is Radha Kunda. He got remembrance of Radha Kunda. That is why our Parangurudev made Radha Kunda there. He revealed Radha Kunda there. That is midday pastime. The next day, Shri Nityananda Prabhu arrived in Shri Vidyanagar, dancing all the way. When the devotees saw Vidyanagar's beauty, which attracts even the minds of the sages, they all experienced the blossoming of great joy. The lotus feet of Shri Nityananda Prabhu and Shri Jannabadevi are the only treasure of this destitute Bhakti Vinod. Holding the lotus feet of the devotees, he sings this glorification of Naudya and begs only to have the wealth of Shri Krishna Bhakti. Tomorrow we will hear further about Vidyanagar.